Okay, now the next thing I would do will be to open a virtual mix rack. Um, yeah, and just kind of get a good starting point. I would open up a preamp first. That would be the first thing I would do. Right, so I'll go into harmonies, which is harmonics, whatever. I guess that's where preamps are, and I would bring in an FG73 British pre. It's my favorite preamp on the Slate Digital collection. I used to call you when I was drunk. Yeah, I hit you when I thought you were. I would give it a little drive. Right now, I don't wanna calm down alone. And then we got yeah, right. And so I would kind of just work on this first hook track. Well, first I would rename these. So this would be the hook. And so I guess this would be the hook background, hook background 2, right? And then this is the lead verse, right? Okay. So now that we got that established. I used to call you when I was drunk. Yeah, I hit you when I thought you were. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind. Use the FGA2A. I used to call you when I was drunk. Yeah, I hit you when I thought you were. Kind of get like 3 dB girl, you on my mind right now. Of compression. I don't wanna calm down alone. And kind of get some highs attenuated on here. I used to call you when I was drunk. Yeah, I hit you when I thought you were. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. I used to call you when I was drunk. Yeah, I hit you when I thought you were. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. Yep. And so this would be a good time to use the meta pitch plugin. So let's just see how this sounds, right? It's a new plugin. It's a new plugin. They just released it. It's put in low latency mode. Hello. 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 All right. Hello. 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 Right. And so I guess you could. Hello. 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 And I would just basically copy this same virtual mix rack to the lead vocal. It's gonna basically sound the same. We can tweak it. Every time I hit you up outside, every time you was on my mind. Never was a time I saw. Then I'd bring up the instrumental gain a tiny bit. Every time I hit you up outside, every time you was on my mind. Never was a time I sober, you were dropped. And it's definitely still peaking, but you know, it's still. Every time I hit you up outside, every time you was on my mind. Never was a time I'm sober, you were dropped, everything come over, hopping away. Even when I wouldn't even remember you was. Yeah, go over here, bring this down. Right click in the empty space, press off. And that's basically, you know, do this. Control E to split it and separate it. So you just. sober. You a drop, everything come over, hopping away. Even when I wouldn't even remember you was even. Right, and then yeah, and so we're gonna replace this reverb with something nice. We're gonna actually put Verb Suite Classics in there, and so these returns are mapped out here. This is A and this is B, and yeah, so we are going to. I guess it's lagging a little bit. Let me put it on hardware setup. Put this at about. Let's put that at 512. All right, so we have a little bit more room to work with. All right, and so we're gonna drive our lead vocal. We're gonna drive our group into reverb, right? I used to call you when I was drunk. Get high cause you ain't that you were. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. Every time I hit you up outside, alone. Time I hit you up outside. Every time, you was on my mind. Never was a time I'm sober. You would drop, everything come over. And then we would EQ this reverb for sure, right? And it's kind of like a dark track, so I would probably EQ a lot of the highs out, right? So I would come over here to the fourth band. It's 1, 2, 3, 4 bands. Come over here and do a low pass filter, right? To call you when I was drunk. Get high cause you ain't that you were. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. Every time I hit you up outside. Every time, you was on my mind. Never was a time I'm sober. You would drop, everything come over, hopping away. Even when I wouldn't even remember you was. Even when it's freezing outside, I'm away, cause you just got out of the shower. I know it was toxic love. We was making love, I was intoxicated. You told me. And so with these ad-libs or whatnot, stabs or whatever freaking people want to call them, man, I would just EQ out the highs and lows. I would kind of find that little sweet spot. It's no like right or wrong way. It's just kind of like finding that sweet spot. Reverb the shit out of them. Quarter note delay. I used to call you when I was drunk. Get high cause you ain't that you were. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. And then another plugin I like to use, especially for like backgrounds, is kind of like the Haas effect. And what the Haas effect does is essentially it's a delay, but it's a delay, and either the left or right is kind of like offset by a certain percentage or certain millisecond, right? But they have a plugin that does that for you automatically, and so it gives this kind of like stereo field, right? And so we're gonna have that on hook background too, right? Every time I hit you up outside. Every time, you was on my mind. Never was a time I'm sober. You would drop, everything come over, hopping away. Even when I wouldn't even remember you was. Even when it's freezing outside, I'm away, cause you just got out of the shower. I know it was toxic love. We was making love, I was intoxicated. You told me your feelings, but I was faded. It was whatever, my darling, and you my baby. I used to call you when I was drunk. Get high, hit you with that you was. Don't know know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna come down alone. 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 Now this is auto pan. Obviously, this is gonna depend on like this is gonna be random and kind of like follow these. It's not gonna like follow BPM, right? Now, essentially, what you could do is you could hit A or click this button right here to bring up automation. Go to your ad-lib track, go to mixer, and go to track panning, right? And so you would just click right here and make another button. Well, that's actually it's actually the wrong thing. Go to mixer, track panning. Click right here, go right, click here, another one, click left, click here, and just so on and so forth, man. Just boom, you got click, make 2 points, right? And so you can just alternate like that. Obviously, you can obviously go slant, but this is just a quick and dirty way of doing it. Well, not quick and dirty. I guess auto pan is quick and dirty. This is a more like calculated way, right? Yeah. Oh, boom, boom, right. And so it just like gives you that alternating feel. Right. I used to call you when I was drunk. Get high, hit you with that you walk. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna come down alone. 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 Every time I hit you up outside, every time you was on my mind. Never was a time I sober. You would drop everything, come over, hop in your way. Yeah, and then so now's a good time to talk about automation and how it can help you create anticipation in your tracks, right? And so you saw I brought in an auto filter, right? Auto filter is just basically taking out all the highs of a track, right? So we go from this. Every time I hit you up outside, every time you was on my mind. Never was a time I sober. You would drop everything, come over, hop in your way. And how I have it coming on, right? And then I cut out the track and I have it cut off. I have the auto filter actually cut off right there, and so it creates this this anticipation. And we can even take it a step further since you got Slate Digital, right? One of my favorite tricks is to do the auto filter / tape stop combo, which is just like super sauce, man. And you just basically you hit the play button, you automate the play button, right? And so you come right here, you come like maybe a bar, a quarter or 3/4 of a bar, right? Make 2 points on the play, and then make it go to pause, right? And then also, right before it comes back in, you got to turn it off, right? And so you can play with these, play with this, make the stop and start times a little lower, and play with the curve of the tape motor, right? And so you get this cool effect. Never was a time I sober. You would drop everything, come over, hop in your way. Right. And yeah, man, that's basically it. Yeah, I'm gonna send you this back. This is kind of like a good starting point. You got all these same plugins, man, and yeah, this should be pretty much good to go if you want to like start mixing this yourself or like, kind of learn what's going on. Yeah, and also create another return track. One thing I like to do, create another return track, call it pre-master, right? And kind of route everything to that pre-master. So go to your track, go to your group, right? Sends only. Route it to C, which is where pre-master is, right? Hit this one to sends only to C, and my voice might cut out. Yeah, right. Sends only. Send everything to C. And now you have another track to where you can it hits something before it hits the master. And yeah, it's just really cool. Obviously, the reverb and the delay are still hitting the master, but you could also essentially hit those to the pre-master too. But it's like, why? Yeah. Anyway, hope you like this tutorial, man. Definitely, bro. If you need any help, let me know. If you got any questions, man, let me know. Okay, and now we're gonna take this a step further, right? And we're gonna get into, I guess, some little surgical mixing, right? So I'm gonna bring in an infinity EQ. It's one of my favorite EQs, man. Everything's all in Slate Digital, so it's lit. Um, right? All you gotta do is double click, and you can create a band, right? And I like to use this to kind of remove bands, right? And so we would come here. Let me solo my mic and solo the hook, right? So we would come in, right? So let me exit this out. Click a band. There's gonna be this little bandwidth, right? And you're gonna, this makes it either narrower or wider, right? So if I bring it up, it makes it wider, makes it narrower, right? And narrowing is really for subtractive EQing, because you don't want to it's just gonna create like a high pitch. Call you and I was drunk. Get high, hit you everything you want. And see, there's this little headphone knob, which is the same thing as right here, right? Like you essentially do the same thing right here. This is called the Q. So this little thing right here is called the Q. And so with this headphone knob, if you press play, you can hear those resonant frequencies. Wanna calm down alone. And you don't want to take all of them out. You just want to take like maybe a few, right? Call you and I was drunk. Hit this little headphone. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. Hello, hello, hello. Every time I hit you up outside, every time you was on my mind. Never was a time I was sober. You would drop everything, come over, hop in your way. Even when I wouldn't even remember you was. Even when it's freezing outside, I'm hurting away, cause you just got out of the shower. I know it was toxic love. We was making love, I was toxicated. You told me your feelings, but I was faded. It was whatever, my darling, and you my baby. I used to call you and I was. Every time I hit you up outside, every time you was on my mind. Never was a time I was sober. You would drop everything, come over, hop in your way. Even when I wouldn't even remember you was. Even when it's free. And so also what I would do, I would get a stereo widener plug-in, right? I'll go to kilohertz. Kilohertz is part of your Slate Digital bundle. I would go here. It's raised like a 120. I used to call you and I was drunk. Get high, hit you everything you want. Don't know why, but girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. Hello, hello, hello. Every time I hit you up outside, every time you was on my mind. Never was a time I was sober. You would drop everything, come over, hop in your way. Even when I wouldn't even remember you was. Even when it's freezing outside, I'm hurting away, cause you just got out of the shower. I know. Right, and then also, let's talk about side chaining, right? So now we're in the reverb channel, right? We're in the reverb return, okay? So we got reverb, we got EQ, and now we got a glue compressor, right? You hit this little drop down arrow, you side chain audio coming from, and let's select this whole group, which is group 5. I probably could have renamed this, right? And now this compressor is going to be activated anytime audio is played from this group, right? You can also select track, but it's going to be from this group. right? And so set the attack kind of fast, slower, right? Release, fast, slower, slow release, fast attack, right? And so let's say we put our reverb like all the way up, right? Call you and I'm strong. Can't hide that you ain't that you wrong. Got a right for girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. Actually, I was in the wrong one, but yeah. Now here we go. Ha. I used to call you and I'm strong. Can't hide that you ain't that you wrong. Got a right for girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down. And it kind of ducks that reverb just a little bit, so it's not like up in your face. I used to call you and I'm strong. Can't hide that you ain't that you wrong. Got a right for girl, you on my mind right now. I don't wanna calm down alone. Yeah, and yeah, man, that's about it basically, man. We can get into mastering all this stuff a little later, but that's how you make your track sound fire, bro. I mean, it's a lot. It's a few more steps than that. I mean, you can get creative, use chorus, flanger and all this stuff. It's a lot of stuff you can do with this, but this is like a good starting point to getting your track sounding professional and getting them to sound like, okay, this is how I kind of want it to sound when it's mixed. Yeah, we in there.